Welcome, everyone, and thank you for watching my Rethink and Develop 100 Days Self-Internship. Uh, R&D 100 Days starts with rethinking, followed by development. Today is day 7 for uh, Rethink, and today's topic is cutting the world's carbon footprint and carbon emissions from me. So as you guys might have heard about, we have had the United Nations Paris Climate Accord. This has been a big deal over the past 5 6 years or so. And a few years ago we left it, but now we have rejoined it. We did not rejoin it randomly, but because that it had a purpose, right? We are trying to lower the global temperature by 2 degrees Celsius. While that may not sound like much, it will be enough to get the world back to a controllable state. Carbon emissions harm the environment and therefore harm us. Uh, However, the UN Paris Climate Accord, it feels so out of touch with the general people. With me, it seems out of touch because it's so far away. It's such a macro scale, right? Why are you? Why? How can I? Why and how can I work on something that it's so? It feels so macro. It feels so big, and I can't make a difference in the actual chord, right? Seems like it's mostly left to the president to take care of, right, and the government. This is so complicated to us. So and also we are talking and fighting about this on a political and diplomatic scale, right? It can even lead to climate wars, and this leads to a lot of um, to uncertainty and just political fighting, right? And that shows how important this problem is. But it's so hard for us to make a difference, right? How much difference can we all make? Well, today I'm here to talk. Today, that topic is to try to solve that problem. How can all of us individually make a difference, right? I want to bring this to a micro scale so it's simpler, so it's easier, right? The UN and the government wants to take control of it from a macro scale, right? They want to take it from the environment to the government to us, to the people. But I want to reverse it and change it and make it to from ourselves to the environment and then to the whole world. So from micro to macro instead of macro to micro. If we change, then the environment changes, right? For example, we have seen the COVID-19 um, what happened after the lockdown, right? For example, in India, people could see the mountains again after so many years, right? Because people were in lockdown, so they can't drive their cars out and stuff. And so that's something like that. But of course, we can't have a lockdown forever, right? And so my solution is not just the environmental benefits, but it's also health benefits to us. Here's an idea. What if we cut down our reliance on carbon products? Okay. How about we take that more specifically into a carbohydrate product, right? No more bread, no more sugar, no more sugary soft drinks, right? Carbohydrates like these are processed, refined carbohydrates, right? Because as we know, the factories to make those food products and even just those packagings and stuff and preservatives and those garbage foods as we like to call it. Let's think about how many of those factories we have and how much smoke they put up, um, into the air, right? What if we slow down and stop consumption of that? Now that might seem like a radical idea, but it can be done and it has been done. And there's a lot of health benefits that lead to that. Remember, our goal at the end is trying to change um, the environment. Okay. So we should cut down on our own carbohydrate use, and that in turn will cut down on carbon use, right? Cutting on carbs has been proven for lots of health benefits, right? First, we decrease reliance on factories, so decrease reliance on smoke and air pollution, and we increase our reliance on the organic, the unprocessed, and natural products, right? Those are good for the environment and good for us too, right? They keep the insulin um, under check, right? They keep our body functions um, under check, our kidney and livers and all that, right? Eating an excessive consumption of carbs leads to health issues related, for example, to obesity, right? You've got fatty liver, right? You've got heart problems, right? You got, high blood pressure, right? You got a bunch of, cancers and all that. Those are all leading to extremely high processed foods and carbs um, consumption, right? And so what happens if, let's say, we're obese and we have these health problems? Well, then we need to rely on our current medical system, on our Western manufactured medicine and hospitals, right? And let's be honest, they use up a lot of carbon emissions too, right? What is to lead us to use like what factories are used to make those medicine, right? What factors are used to make those um, medical products, right? And this may seem like a surprise to you because those are frequently ignored, right? The current medical systems and Western medicines impact are so overlooked because they are perceived as useful, right? They are perceived as indispensable, right? But we can decrease on our reliance on hospitals and our current medical system, right? And this needs a micro scale personal transformation, right? This transfers and brings to environmental change, right? Pollution will keep going away and life will be clean again, right? For example, the current medical system needs to be operating to keep people paid, and but more hospital treatment, and that's more health risks, more social security insurance, and that takes away money from the younger generation and the upcoming generation, right? And let me just bring, and to close off, let me just bring an example on um on the cutting carbs and the benefits of all of those, right? On the health aspect. So, for example, my dad, right? He has been um very overweight for the past decades, right? But yeah, since January, in such a few months, he cut down nearly, I think, 20% of or 25% of his um, body weight by just cutting carbs or just lowering carb consumption, right? Um, of course, we can't see the environmental changes in just one person, but if all of us would do it, how much it would rapidly change, right? Now his lifestyle is much less dependent on like oil fry, garbage food, processed food, into more natural, unrefined, good food, the organic food, things like that. So what if we did that? How better would our health be? How better would the environment be as a result? Thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 8.